A lot of classic Star Wars games have a special place in my heart, and while I've played them a lot of times, I never fully completed them. I'm going to platinum 3 classic Star Wars games in this video: Star Wars Republic Commando, Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Outcast, and Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. And since I'm fairly new to this trophy achievement hunting hobby, I decided to go back on these classic games and get that platinum trophy for each of these games. Starting off with Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer was one of the games based off the Star Wars prequel movies, the Phantom Menace pod racing scene specifically. Opinions on the Phantom Menace film is very mixed still to this day, but we can at least agree that there were some cool moments in that film. Of course, one of the biggest moments that stand out, aside from the Darth Maul fight, was the pod racing segment of the movie. The pod racing scene was one of my favorites as a kid. It was really cool, and I think this part of the film still holds up today. While the pod racing part of the film was cool, it also went by really quick. Thankfully, they made a game based off that pod racing concept, and that's all I ask for. Now, going for the platinum trophy for this game was pretty straightforward. This game has 30 trophies total. 8 trophies involve unlocking racers, and unlocking the other racers was fairly easy, for all you have to do is finish first place in all the races. 4 trophies involve completing the circuit cups, or tournaments. 1 trophy involves getting first place on every track. Simple enough. And the rest of the trophies don't take much effort, except for 3 trophies in my case. Many of this game's miscellaneous trophies take almost no effort at all, like setting a new lap record, taunting your opponents, performing a boost, perform a boost start, maxing out your pit crew, repairing your engine as Anakin, complete a mirror race. These trophies are really easy to obtain. I mentioned there were 3 trophies that took me a bit of effort to obtain. Still fairly easy, but it did take me a bit of time to get. So what are these 3 trophies? One of them is Bantha Padu. To get this trophy, you have to hit 10 enemies with Sebulba's weapon, where you have to play as Sebulba and simply taunt with him near other racers. See, Sebulba's pod racer has a weapon attached to it, which is this side flamethrower. I think he's the only pod racer that has this. I didn't really look into if other pod racers have a weapon of some sort. Now, you can't really take out other racers with this weapon. I think it just slows them down. But once again, to get this trophy, you have to hit 10 enemies with this weapon. Now, the way I got this trophy was pretty easy. Just start a race, don't accelerate at all at the start, wait for a bit, and then just pass everyone while taunting. Now, this next trophy did take me a bit of time to get. You came, you looked around, you bought, where you have to purchase all the best upgrades in the game, which is these parts specifically. These parts I've listed are very pricey, and unfortunately, after completing all the races, I wasn't able to afford all of them. One of the reasons being I purchased previous upgrades. And thankfully, I discovered you can sell your parts. But the trick to get this trophy is to buy the best parts from the junkyard. And to find each specific part, you have to change racers and revisit the junkyard for the part listing to refresh. But I still couldn't afford all the best parts, even from the junkyard. Here, I was worried that I had to replay the entire game again in order to complete this one trophy. But there was one thing I haven't done yet. So whenever you buy a damaged part from the junkyard and play a race, your droid pit crew will repair those damaged parts. And by the time you've completed the race, those damaged parts should be fully repaired. So my solution: sell everything, buy any part in the junkyard, play a race, any race, and after that race, those parts should be repaired, sell everything, and I should have turned some sort of profit. And just like that, I was able to afford all the best parts in the game. Now, I only had to do that trick once. There's a chance some people may have to do it twice, but I am glad I discovered this trick. Otherwise, I would have had to replay the entire game again. And my last trophy was the Kessel Run trophy, where I had to reach 1,000 miles per hour. And all I had to do was switch to Bulls Roy, do a quick race, and that was it. I got my platinum after that. Overall, very straightforward and easy game to platinum. Only 3 trophies that took me a bit of extra time. As for the rest, all you have to do really is play the game. Star Wars Episode 1 is a decent high-speed racing game set in the Star Wars universe. And it's also really short, only taking about 4 hours to fully complete. If you're new to trophy hunting, I think this is a good appetizer game to platinum. Anyways, next game. Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Outcast. Jedi Knight Jedi Outcast is a classic. Released in March 26, 2002, developed by Raven Software back when these guys made games, Jedi Outcast was the 3rd entry of the Dark Forces games, featuring the character Kyle Katarn, who is a disillusioned former Jedi. Jedi Outcast has 37 trophies total, and getting the platinum for this game seems fairly straightforward. 4 difficulty related trophies, about 17 trophies are story related, and the rest are miscellaneous trophies that involve certain action or abilities. Now, unlike episode 1 Racer, we're gonna go through these trophies in the order I received them. At the very start, we get our first trophy, Kyle Shot First, where you take out a stormtrooper. Easy enough. Also, go to the door from the start to discover our first secret area and unlock the trophy, what's behind this door. While you're in here, shoot the trip mines to get the trophy. Got it before it got you. Throughout this mission, if you collect 5 Bacta canisters, you'll get the trophy Prepared. Either this first level or the next Kajim base level. While roaming across these hallways, make sure to shoot the droids to get the trophy Droid Cruelty. Once the Kajim base section is completed, we unlock the Crystals trophy. We did skip a miscellaneous trophy called Watch Your Step, where you have to fall to your death, but we can get that later. At some point during the Artist Mine level, we find a small pit of lava. We're gonna have to kill ourselves here in order to get the Hot Tub trophy. After we complete the mine level and detention facility, we then move on to Artist Topside, where we have to kill this ATST to get the trophy, The Bigger They Are. Towards the end of this mission, our partner Jan gets captured, and Kyle loses a fight against Hassan, thus completing the artist section of the game, and also unlocks the Jan trophy. After Kyle loses his close partner, he then visits Luke Skywalker at his Jedi temple. We also get the trophy An Old Friend at this section. After our reunion with Luke, we proceed to the next stage, Yavin Trial, where we go through trials to acquire our Force abilities and recover our lightsaber. For the first 6 levels, the game starts off as just another shooter, but once we get our lightsaber, this is when the game starts to get good. After fully completing the trials, we then get the trophy, I'm Just a Guy with a Lightsaber. We then proceed to the Nar Shaddaa section of the game. In this first level, we get 3 trophies. One of them is called Sia, where we force push an enemy. Next is Mr. Just a Guy, where we have to kill the bartender. And another trophy I got in this level, Hide and Secret. Now, this is a trophy I'm going to touch more on later. Let's just get the other trophies in the meantime. We will get back into this one. Proceeding on to the next stage, we eventually reunite with Lando, and obtain the trophy, getting the band back together. In the third and final stage of the Nar Shaddaa section, we get our last 2 trophies, where we kill Relo and his henchmen for the trophy Found You, and after completing the level we get Jailbreak. We then make our way into Bespin. At the very start of this section, I remembered about the Watch Your Step trophy, and quickly got that out of the way. Yes, there's 2 trophies that involve killing yourself. I don't know why they made these trophies. Later on through this stage, we get the trophy Academy Training for executing a force jump while wall running. Eventually, we encounter the first Reborn. After defeating the first Reborn, we get the trophy Looks Like a Jedi and Walks Like a Jedi. Within the same level, you also get the trophy Monarch Hunt by force gripping an enemy and killing them with a lightsaber throw. And we also get Birds of a Feather by pulling 4 enemies into the air by using force pull. Towards the very end, we have a boss encounter, where we have to defeat Tavion to get the trophy, Where's Your Master Apprentice. Now, we only have 14 trophies left in the game, most of them being story related, so be warned, because we will fall into spoiler territory. We then move on to the Cairn section of the game. Now, there's only 1 story trophy in this entire section. The trophy, I have a bad feeling about this, for just simply completing the Cairn dock stage. After this, we then move on to the Doomgiver section of the game. From here, we get our last 2 gameplay related trophies. Immediately from the start of this level, we can get the trophy, These Aren't the Droids You're Looking For using our rank 3 mind trick on a stormtrooper. By this point of the game, our mind trick should be at rank 3 naturally. And we also get the trophy, Yes Disintegrations, where we get a kill with the full charged shot of the Disruptor Rifle. I should acknowledge that you can get this trophy earlier in the game during the Nar Shaddaa section, but in my playthrough I had completely forgot about this trophy and didn't remember to unlock it until this point. We get our next 3 story trophies by simply completing the entire Doomgiver section, which now leaves 1 last story trophy to get, the Overgrown Monkey Lizard trophy. There are no story related trophies to get in these last 3 levels, aside from the difficulty related trophies. However, there is still 3 miscellaneous trophies I haven't mentioned yet, because I've been saving to discuss them till now. Our last trophies before the final boss is Foresight and Embrace the Dark Side. For Embrace the Dark Side, you have to complete a level using the Cheats menu. Now up until this point, I didn't know they kept a cheats menu in the game. I am fully aware of its existence in the PC version, but I don't recall this being in the original console version. I didn't play the original console version to know if they had cheats or not. I just didn't expect they'd keep it for this re-release. I would have completely missed it if they didn't feature cheats as a trophy. But since it's here, I figured I'd utilize it to get what may be the hardest trophy in the game, Foresight, where you have to find all the game's secret areas. Now during my legitimate playthrough, I was trying to find all the secrets as I was playing the game, but when I got to the Nar Shaddaa section, I honestly gave up trying to find them and saved it for cleanup. And even with cheats, finding all the secrets can be a challenge. But out of all of the game's levels, finding all the secret areas in Nar Shaddaa was still frustrating, with or without cheats. The secret areas in this sections are so well hidden. About 3 or 4 of them are hiding within plain sight. And something important to note when using cheats, whenever you use cheats in Jedi Outcast, it pretty much disables all of the other game's trophies, anything story or gameplay related. A workaround is saving your game right before you hit a trigger point to where the trophy unlocks, restart your game, and you should unlock that trophy. The good thing is not every stage has secrets, and after going through the entire game again finding all the secret areas, I finally got the Foresight trophy, and also got hide and secret along the way. Finally making our way to the Yavin courtyard, we only have 5 trophies left to obtain. Our 4 difficulty trophies, and the overgrown lizard trophy. Now you could actually get all the difficulty trophies pretty easily. By default, if you play the game on normal or easy, which would be Jedi and Padawan, you get the Jedi and Padawan trophies. But playing the game on hard and very hard, which would be Jedi Knight and Jedi Master, this game is brutal. Since we were introduced to the cheat menu, thanks to a certain trophy, we could get these trophies very easily. All you have to do is start a new game, and using the cheat menu, warp your way to the final boss room, have God mode enabled, and then hit him a couple of times. When it seems like Dasan has low HP, disable all cheats, save your game, restart your game, and beat him without dying. And just like that, we got all the difficulty trophies in one go. Now the overgrown lizard trophy actually glitched for me here. It might have been locked when I started the fight on God mode. Luckily, I still had my legitimate playthrough save file, so all I had to do was reload that save and beat Dasan legitimately, and there we have it. Most trophies are alright. It's really the Foresight trophy that I struggled with. Platinuming this game wasn't too hard, just had to put extra time to find all the secrets. And because of cheats, the time I would have spent finding all those secrets was dramatically reduced. Now if you've never played Jedi Outcast, it's a great game. And of course, at least play the game legitimately once before going for that platinum. It's a good game, it has a great story, though I should warn you the first 4 to 5 levels are slow and also has some cryptic level design. But once you get your lightsaber, the game gets good from that point to the end. And there we have it. That was the platinum for Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast. Just one last game to go. Star Wars Republic Commandos. Released in March 1st, 2005. Now this Star Wars game is a first-person tactical shooter. You play as an elite squad of Republic Commandos and undergo special missions that occur throughout the Clone Wars. I'm actually really excited to replay this since this is one of my favorite Star Wars games. Republic Commandos has 32 trophies total, many of the trophies being gameplay related. Before starting the game though, the very first thing we need to do is to go to the options menu and set the game's difficulty to hard. There are 3 difficulty related trophies, Cadet being the game's easy mode, Lieutenant, which is medium, and Marshal Commander, which would be hard. We want to play the game on hard, so that we can platinum this game in just one playthrough. And it's safe to assume the Marshal Commander trophy might be the hardest trophy in this whole game. While I have played this game many times, I honestly don't think I've ever beaten this game on hard. This platinum run, however, will be my first time playing the game on hard difficulty. Game has about 3 acts total, and dropping into the Geonosis act, we can actually get a lot of the game's miscellaneous trophies within the first act. We can get a lot of these trophies pretty easily by just playing the game. There were only about 3 trophies that I had to keep in mind throughout this entire playthrough. Before we get into those trophies, the first thing we need to do is find our squad mates. Now we are currently split from our squad. Our first trophy is to reunite with Delta 6-2. Sometime after that, we get our next trophy. We need a slicer, a good slicer, where we reunite with Delta 4-0 and order him to slice our first console. Throughout this mission, we can also get the trophy Consistently Explosive for blowing up 10 barrels. You can also get the trophy Delta Squad Forming Up by simply issuing all commands. At some point, we are tasked to capture the Geonosian captain Sun Fac. When he tries to flee his ship, simply order someone in a sniping position. From there, you should get the trophy Never Saw It Coming. When we enter deep into this cave-like area, you'll see these eggs everywhere. Now, I failed when doing this attempt, but we are supposed to shoot these eggs before they hatch. Once again, I missed this trophy, but we can come back to get it later. At the very least, I did get the trophy Please Make Up Your Mind, where all you have to do is issue a command and immediately cancel it. We also get the Lack of Bacta trophy by simply reviving a squad member. And also, when you're down, you get the trophy Hold On to Your Guts. At any point of the game, you can get the trophy Watch Your Head by simply meleeing a droid in the head. Midway into the Geonosis Act, we can get the trophy It Was Red, Red, Green by blowing up 10 demolition charges. We also get the Squeaky Clean trophy when our visor gets cleaned 10 times. We get this trophy pretty naturally. Throughout the game, our visor gets dirty with blood or oil whenever we melee enemies, or by taking damage. We don't need to do anything to clean our visor, this is something the game does automatically. Also, at any point of the game, if you kill yourself with a grenade or explosive barrel, you get the trophy Friendliest Fire. And anytime you encounter a lot of droids, you can also get the trophy He's Holding a Thermal Detonator by hitting 5 enemies with 1 thermal detonator. Seems like a hard trophy, but it was actually pretty easy, especially since they're mostly in groups. Should also mention we need to pick up enemy weapons throughout this entire game to progress a certain trophy. For this act alone, it's only the Geonosis beam rifle. Late into the Geonosis mission, you'll come across a turret. We need to get 10 kills with this turret to get the trophy Turretrial Assault. Sometime after that trophy, we acquire our final weapon attachment, which should be the anti-armor attachment, to unlock Maximize Potential. Not long after getting that attachment, we need to use this attachment in order to destroy this dwarf spider droid that we encounter. After defeating the spider droid, we get Shoot the Big Red Spot. Now, towards the end of the Geonosis mission, I missed another trophy called Guerrilla Warfare, where we have to drop a droid dispenser on 4 enemies, so this is another one we're going to have to come back to get later. But after we complete the entire Geonosis Act, we get the trophy This Planet is Rotten from the Inside Out. We've only completed the first act, and we've already got 17 trophies. Now, a lot of them take little to no effort to get, but it's still progress. And playing the Geonosis Act on hard wasn't as bad as I thought. However, for anyone who's played this game, you know this game's difficulty increases the more you progress. Anyways, moving on to the next act, Delta Squad is off to investigate the RAS Prosecutor, an assault ship that's either gone rogue or completely abandoned. During this mission, we are going to encounter scavenger droids. These droids do a lot of damage, so we're going to have to take them out quickly. But we do need to get close to one scavenger droid, because we need these droids to latch onto our helmets in order to get the trophy I Really Hate Those Scavs. We'll also encounter Trandoshans. The first Trandoshans we encounter are equipped with a shotgun that we can use. Another thing to keep in mind is that we need to progress our melee kill trophy. Now, I found these Trandoshans easier to melee than droids, since they have bigger hitboxes. So I figured this was the best time to progress that trophy. At some point during the first segment of this act, we find this vent. If we go into this vent and go to our right, we find a lightsaber. To get the trophy, times have changed. After being reunited with the rest of Delta Squad again, we eventually face off against Trandoshans using an SMG-like weapon and a heavy machine gun. We need to pick up those weapons at least once, leaving just one enemy weapon left to collect. When you get to the hangar sections of the Prosecutor Act, you should encounter a Trandoshan using a concussion-like rifle, which is the last weapon we need to complete aspirational goals. We can get our next trophy that models a death trap, where we need to find the speeder bike. The speeder bike is located within the second hangar, which is right over here in this corner. Towards the end of this act, after fending off the droids in the final hangar, we get to pilot a walker, and all we need to do is get a kill with this walker. To get the trophy, take offensive formation. All we need to do now is complete our last mission for this act, which would be the mission called Saving the Ship, to obtain All Aboard. I gotta say, when I got to the halfway point in the Prosecutor Act, the game's difficulty really kicked in, especially when you're going up against multiple droid dispensers, and only being able to take 2 to 3 hits. You really need to strategize your approach. while also keeping your distance. It still wasn't that bad, but I did die more times. Finally, moving on to the Kashyyyk Act. Now we really don't have much trophies left to unlock. In fact, during the beginning of the Kashyyyk mission, I got the trophy close and personal for getting 100 melee kills. And from here on, all we really need to do now is beat the game, which is still going to take a bit of time, considering Kashyyyk is the longest act of the whole game. And there was lots of encounters that were tough, but not too hard. Towards the end of Kashyyyk is when it gets really hard though, because in the final stretch, each member of Delta Squad gets left behind to operate this turret to help take out the Separatist cruiser. When you reach the point where it's just you and 6-2 left, and you have to destroy the spider droid, this encounter was tough, since it's only you and 6-2, and you have the spider droid to take out, also other enemies constantly spawning in on you. And remember, it only takes 2 to 3 hits and you're dead. This encounter was tough. Better make sure you save that Wookiee rocket launcher. But most importantly, take your time with it. If you need to walk a distance to heal up, so be it. But once 6-2 mounts his turret, we have one final push. We then mount our own turret, destroy the cruiser, to get our last story trophy, reinforce the Wookiees, and also unlocking Cadet, Lieutenant, and Marshal Commander for beating the game on hard. But we're still not done yet. We still have these trophies left to complete. We have to go back to the Geonosis Act to complete our last trophies that we missed. In the mission called Infiltrate the Droid Foundry, we need to destroy all these eggs before they hatch. First, we need to position Delta Squad in a designated place, so that way they don't interfere with this trophy. Now, to ensure I don't screw this up again, I took my time in this segment to make sure I destroyed every egg around. There are also eggs above you, which may be the eggs I missed in my first playthrough. And once you get to this area, I was able to complete the trophy. We got a nest in here. And while I'm here, I also need to get the trophy You Can Die Later Sir, by simply going down 10 times. And that leaves just one trophy left, Guerrilla Warfare. To get this, all I had to do was replay the mission, infiltrate the core ship, and in the hallway where you reunite with 07, there should be a dangling dispenser. When a group of droids get underneath it, just simply shoot it down with your sniper rifle. And there it is. That was the platinum for Star Wars Republic Commandos. And also our last platinum for this video. Well, there we go. That was 3 platinum trophies for 3 classic Star Wars games. Now, since I'm fairly new to trophy hunting, I figured I'm gonna take this time to reflect my experience getting the platinum trophy for each of these games. Now, these are great games, but which one did I enjoy platinuming more? Again, I'm basing this off my platinum experience. With just these 3 going from worst to best, worst might be Jedi Outcast. Again, this is a great game, but going for the platinum wasn't that much enjoyable. And the trophy responsible for that was Foresight, where you have to find all the secret areas. Also, the cheats menu does make this feel a little unfair, but at the same time it didn't, because they made the cheat menu a trophy, so I have no regrets. As for the difficulty trophies, did I at least try to beat the game on Jedi Master difficulty? During my playthrough, no. But after beating all the games, I did go back to Jedi Outcast to try out Jedi Master, just to see how hard it really is. And yes, this game is really hard. The second game, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, I mean, it's a straightforward racing game. I mean, platinuming this game was kind of a cakewalk. All you have to do is just win all the races, get all the upgrades. Pretty much it. And finally, Republic Commandos. I really enjoyed platinuming this game out of the other 2. One of the reasons being was that I never played the game on hard. And why is that important? Wouldn't the game be more difficult to play through? Normally, yes. But this game has some great, simple squad mechanics. And playing this game on hard really made me appreciate this game's tactical mechanics. Yes, it was hard at times, absolutely. But changing my approach and strategy on certain rooms, like this one, eventually I adapted to the game's difficulty. I also never knew about the lightsaber Easter egg. I thought this game was fun to platinum, and it's also the game I recommend more. Well, I think that does it for this video. I do want to do more platinum stuff in the future. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.